Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutangamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. O Lord, please move us from unreality to the reality, from ignorance to the knowledge, from darkness to the light, and from the mortality to the immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. My dear spiritual aspirants, just previous Thursday, we did finish classes or discussions on Tattva Bodha, which is one of the preliminary text on Advaita Vedanta. Today, as a special interest for many of spiritual seekers who are really interested in knowing the ultimate reality, who are interested in spiritual life, for them, this is like snacks for the soul. Today's subject is the discrimination between the seer and the seen. This main idea is taken from Drugdrishya Viveka. Again, the discrimination between the seer and the seen, which is one of the Prakarana Grantha, the treatise text on Advaita Vedanta, the non-dualistic philosophy. I may not take the whole text, so based on that idea, just I am at broad canvas, I am discussing the ideas and how we should discriminate between the seer and the seen. When I say, or when you hear seriously about discrimination between seer and the seen, many of you may get a question, why should we discriminate at all? What is the use? What is the benefit? What do I am going to get from this? Do I get material comforts? Do I get pocket money? Or will it increase the salary? Will it bring me good name and fame, power, position, what not? What all our material comforts do I get any one of them among by this discrimination between the seer and the seen? The answer is straight away no. If you are looking for material comforts, and if you want to know by doing discrimination between the seer and seen, definitely, sorry, you are at wrong place. You will not get anything from that. Oh my God, okay then why should we do this? Now when you want money, when you want power, position, fame, all these things, why do you want? Oh, all these things makes me happy. All these things make me happy, blissful. Fine. So I give $100 million. Will you be happy? Can you assure me that? Will you be happy if I give $100 million? Many of us say, yes, Swami, please give us. And after some time, after a few months, after a few years maybe, if not years, at least few months, you will say, no, it is not. After getting enough money, there were many other problems may creep in due to the money, and as well as there may be some other problems may creep in, or we may feel unhappy about some things or few things which we don't have. Similarly with power, Similarly with position, similarly with name and fame, with so on and so forth. We can't be happy at all times by this material accomplishments. So then, should I not try for all these things? No, definitely we should try. We need it, all of them, for our existence and for our sustenance. But the bottom line for all this craving is to be happy. I want to be happy, so I feel that if I get money, I will be happy. Someone feel that if I become powerful, if I am a good officer, if I get a good power position in the office where I am working, definitely I will be happy. So the Vedanta says, unfortunately, the happiness where you are searching in the external world and the external objects, from that you may get an iota of happiness from any material accomplishments, material achievements from the material world and its objects, but permanent happiness you won't get. The aim of Vedanta, the goal of Vedanta, what it is, if you ask anyone, they say simply in a layman's language, Atyantika dukkha nivrittihi paramananda praptihi. What a beautiful, grand idea, magnanimous statement. Removal of, cessation of suffering completely. Not for 1 day, not for 2 days, not for 3 days, not for few days, completely, once for all. No more sufferings, no more unhappiness. And also, at the same time, attainment of supreme bliss, attainment of supreme happiness. So why do we need Vedanta? Why should we study Vedanta? What is the aim and goal of Vedanta, if you ask? It is complete cessation of suffering or unhappiness and the attainment of supreme bliss, ultimate happiness. You tell me now, how many of us we don't want? Every one of us we want it. And the Vedanta says, the Vedanta philosophy, the philosophy of non-dualism says, unfortunately, you people are searching for happiness in wrong place. They gave a beautiful example. On a lighter side, of course, the story goes like this. One fellow, at the night, he had lost an object and he was searching on the road. The people who were crossing the same road, they asked, "Oh, my dear, what happened? What is the matter? You were searching something. Did you lose something?" He said, "Yes, I lost something." "Okay, what is that?" "Oh, I lost the watch." "Oh, did you lose the watch? Fine, come on, we will also help you to search." So that was a big field, a sort of big field. They also started searching for the watch. It slowly, it went for 10, 15, 20 people, and everyone is searching, and none of them are getting for the watch. After some time, a person, he asked, "My dear, please tell me exactly, can you remember, where did you lose? Or when did you remember that you lost a watch?" He said, "Half an hour before." "Fine. Where did you lose the watch? Do you remember? Do you have got any idea?" He said, "Yes, just maybe 50, 100 meters distance. There's a place. Can you see?" "Yes." "Of course, it's completely dark." "Yes, I lost the watch there." "My goodness, you lost the watch there?" "Yes." "Then why are you searching here? Why were you searching here?" He said, "Because there was no light there, and since there was a light, I started searching." Oh my God, what a foolishness. Everyone got furiated. And someone felt bad, someone felt little infuriated and probably scolded. They all went, they used the help of torch or mobile light, torch light. They could find the watch and they gave him and they left. And his idea was, because there was a darkness, so probably I may not get it. With the wrong thinking, he was searching for the lost object in the wrong place. This is what the Vedanta says, that we all want happiness. Fine. But we are searching for the happiness in the wrong place. The happiness is in you only. It is neither in a person, it is neither in any object, it is neither in any achievements. But it is in you because it is your nature. But unfortunately, you are trying to find, you are trying to know, are trying to seek the happiness in wrong place or wrong place. To understand this, we need to do discrimination between the seer and the seen, and probably that's the reason you have to attend to my lecture. Now, the philosophical speculation about the seer and the seen, or the philosophical speculation about getting or attaining the eternal happiness, is done thousands of years before. And if you see the Indian philosophy, theistic schools of philosophy. Theistic schools of philosophy means, I don't mean that the philosophies which they believe in the existence of the God. No. The schools of philosophy which believe or which accept the authority of the Vedas, they are called theistic schools. If whether they believe in the existence of God or not, in the Indian classical philosophy, it doesn't matter. If they accept the authority of the Vedas, then they are called theistic schools of philosophy. Nyaya, that is syllogism. Vaisheshika, where we get atomic theory and all. Then Sankhya, Yoga, that is Patanjala Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, and Uttara Mimamsa. These are the 6 schools of theistic schools of philosophy. And 3 schools of philosophy which are not theistic because they didn't accept the authority of Vedas. One is Charvaka, the materialistic, and the other 2 is Jainism and Buddhism. Now, if you see in the Sankhya, and which is very related to Buddha philosophy, because Buddha was also Sankhya. These 2 philosophies, they start their speculation, they start their inquiry with the existence of suffering, acceptance of suffering. Buddha says, Chatvari Ari Sattani, the 4 noble truths. What? There is suffering. Dukkha masti. Okay? And there is a cause for suffering. There is a cause of suffering. What is the desires? And there is an end to the suffering, and that is nirvana. And there is a path to end the suffering, or dukkha, that is Ashtanga Marga. So the Buddhistic philosophy starts with acceptance of suffering and to eradicate the suffering. There is a suffering. If there is a suffering, there is a cause for suffering. And if there is a cause for suffering, there is a solution also for suffering, to removal of suffering. And what is the solution? That is what Ashtanga Marga, eightfold path. The Ashtanga Marga of Patanjala Yoga is different from the Ashtanga Marga of Buddhism is different. The same thing, it also very clearly seen in Sankhya Karika. The first text, the primary text which is available for us on the Sankhyan philosophy, which is one of the ancient philosophy than the Vedanta. What they say? Dukkha traya abhighatat. From the torment caused by the three kinds of pain, jignasa tad aphagatake. To remove it, to terminate it, we have to do an inquiry. See, even the Sankhya philosophy, one of the ancient Indian philosophy, which is much more ancient than the Vedanta philosophy, even the philosophical thinking, speculation starts that we have 3 kinds of dukkha, suffering, unhappiness. To terminate it, to remove it, we have to do speculation. We have to start speculation. We have to make an inquiry. We have to make an inquiry. This is what some schools of philosophy started. But the Vedanta philosophy said that we are all searching for happiness in wrong place, in wrong direction. So we have to understand that, and we have to search for happiness in the right place, in the right direction. Then we will get it, and then we can be happiness. So one is neti from negative side, they are trying to approach the truth, and the Vedanta is from the optimistic side, or from the positive side, from the assertive side, it is trying to find out the truth. Now, what is the difference between the Sankhya and Vedanta? The Sankhya says, oh, the Purusha has misconceived, the Purusha is mixed himself, the Purusha has mistaken himself with the Prakriti. Prakriti is the world, and this world objects. It is made up of Triguna, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. That's why there is a dukkha. Maybe I have got a dukkha from disease. Then I may have a good dukkha from the loss loss of finance. I may have got dukkha because of someone accused me. I may got dukkha, unhappiness or suffering because of failure. So much we may give for all that. The reason is I am the Purusha. I am the self, I am the soul, but I have mixed myself, I have mistaken myself with the Prakriti, that is this world or worldly objects. That's why we are suffering, we are unhappy. The moment we discriminate and we differentiate and we separate ourselves from this Prakriti, the self itself, if it separates itself, separate is not physical suffering, mental separation means I am not this world or worldly objects, and I am the Purusha, the self or the soul. I am not any of these things. The moment I understand, immediately I will get nirvana, moksha, mukti, salvation. That is the state of complete happiness. That's what the Sankhya says, which we can see very clearly in the Kshetrajna Yoga, the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Probably I will give an example like I have a body and I am a body. There's a lot of difference between I am a body and have a body. When the moment you ask, oh Swamiji, please come on. We all know that I have a body. I will never say that I am a body. Yes, we say that, but we don't behave. When something happens to my body, immediately I feel as if it happens to me. Okay, I've got a fever. Fine, I've got a fever. If I'm able to manage, okay. If I'm not able to manage, I can take some medicine or I can take some rest, fine. But instead of that, we get agitated. We feel morose, we feel unhappiness, we get stressed, we feel tense, so on and so forth as reaction. Why? Because I feel that the fever is not for my body, the fever is happened to me only. So though we say that I have a body, but we behave like I am a body. So there's a lot of difference between I have a body and I am a body. So this is what when the Sankhya says that I am mistaking myself for the nature or for the world and its object. That's what we mean it. So that confusion has to be removed. And the Vedanta also says similarly that I am the subject, I am the self, I am the consciousness, I am the awareness. And this world and worldly project is objects. They're unconscious. But unfortunately, I am myself mixed with this world and worldly objects, and I feel that I am them. For an example, I have got feelings. I am not the feelings. Someone scolded me. Immediately, I start reacting. I feel morose and I feel unhappiness. I feel stressed. I may lose sleep, so on and so forth. If I say that I am an Atman, I am the self, I am the subject, not the object. And these feelings are related with the mind. The thoughts are related with the mind. And when I say that I am not the mind and when I have a mind, then all these problems are related with the mind, isn't it? But we react, we feel stressed, we feel morose, so on and so forth. Isn't it? That's the reason. The moment when we understand and when we separate ourselves, when we remove this misidentification, when we remove this ignorance, we will be happy. That's what even the Vedanta says. Oh, is there any example? Is there any story? Is it just a hypothetical argument? Really? So, yes. I've seen myself in my life. I've seen a great monk. His name is Revered Swami Kamalananji Maharaj. He's one of the monk of the Ramakrishna Mutt and Ramakrishna Mission. Recently, just a month or two before, he left his mortal coil in Banaras, Kashi, one of the ancient city of the whole world. In his 80s, 80 or around 80, 17 and 80, he left his mortal coil. I started my monastic life in Ramakrishna Mutt, Alsur, Bengaluru, India. 3 or 4 years had over of my joining. Swami Kamalanji Maharaj, because of his age and because of his health problems, he had taken a retirement. Means he has really relinquished all his, responsibilities. He was just leading the retired life. By the time already, he had an angiogram, he had a BP, and he had a diabetic. Diabetes was high, very high in him. Generally, it will 200, 300, 400. It used to be there. His sugar level. And once, as per his saying, and as I've heard from others also, he had a severe problems, and he was taken. He was taken to the operation theater while he was made to sleep on the stretcher, and he was taken. Immediately there was a vomit and blood vomit. He had a blood vomit, and good amount of blood came out. The nurses and the doctors who were taking him on the stretcher to the operation theater themselves, they got feared, and they started trembling. Oh, what will happen to him? But this Swamiji, imagine at this juncture, Swamiji saying, oh, never mind, I'm an experienced patient. At that juncture, at that critical situation, he's making a fun and said, I'm an experienced patient, never mind, don't worry, just take me to operation theater. See, such type of composed nature, such type of equanimous mind, from where it comes? Very interesting, isn't it? After 2 or 3 years, this incident happened when I was there, and he had a chest pain again. Chest pain was very severe that time. So he also felt, the doctors also felt there may be again some problem or issue. And he was taken to the hospital. And there, the President Swamiji asked me to go along with him and to take care of him, to serve him. I said, fine, we had been. And in one of the very reputed hospital, he was admitted. And so many types of tests and investigations had started. After 2 days, we came to know that there is no problem in his heart actually, because he had been already undergone angiogram. With God's grace, God was gracious, or God is gracious, that there was no problem. But still he had to be kept under observation for 3 more days. So more or less for a week we were in hospital. And he had a severe chest pain, but still he was lying down. He never reacted. He was never morose. He was always with that smiling face. And whatever the food is given, he used to take. And as if nothing had happened, just when he was in ashrama, before this problem, how he used to live his life with us in the same way. Even he was continuing his spiritual practices, his lifestyle more or less in the hospital also. As a young brahmachari novice, I was wondering. See, when we get a fever, and 2-3 days afterwards, even if it doesn't subside, and if you feel a little weak, immediately we feel stressed, we feel tensed, start thinking, oh, what will happen, why it is not going, etc., etc. And at this juncture, he's not having any reaction in his face at all. He's just as if nothing is happening. He's sleeping, he's lying on the bed, he's doing his spiritual sadhana, so on and so forth. After 2-3 days, as a matter of interesting, and even I also wanted to know, as an inquisitiveness, I asked, Swamiji, if you don't mind, I would like to ask a question, your personal question. He said, yes, my dear, whatever you want, you can ask. Swamiji, it is something to do with your personal life, so you should not feel bad about it. You should not mind. He said, fine, yes, my dear brother, you can ask, you are free to ask. Swamiji, I have seen you for more than 2 years, and regularly I'm checking your BP and I'm noting down, I'm checking your daily sugar level. It didn't be noted down from me because doctors have said, and every day I'm giving you insulin. And you had a severe chest pain, you said, and we brought you, and so many tests and investigations was done. But during all this time, and even now, you are behaving, or you are just like as if nothing has happened to you. How is it possible for you, Swamiji? Probably 10 or 20% of this would have happened for any of us. Probably would have felt unhappy, morose, tense, stressed, whatnot. He just smilingly said, yes, my dear, you are right. This is what sadhu life is. Do you think that I was cutting brinjals for all this life, for all of this time in my sadhu life? I have tried in my own way to take the name of God. I have practiced some spiritual disciplines, isn't it? Yes, Swamiji. So that should reflect somewhere, isn't it? Yes, this is the time it is reflecting. Yes, fine, Swamiji, but how is it possible? What made you to? What is your strength? What made you not to get perturbed from these things? Then immediately said, my dear, once I had a clear understanding, a sort of darshan you can say, sort of realization you can say, what not. that I felt that. I really felt that. I experienced that. I am not the body and mind, I am something separate. At some point of time, in his during his sadhana time, at some point of time in his whole of his life, it is not just mere intellectual speculation. It is not an idea for him. It was a matter of experience that I am not this body and mind. I am separate. I am self. I am conscious. I am separate from this body and mind. I had an experience that has given the tremendous conviction, tremendous energy in me. So even whatever is happening, all these things, it is happening to my body. It is not to me. So that conviction is there in me. That's the reason whatever happens, I don't get perturbed. I don't get moved. I'm not feeling bothered. I'm not bothered. Nothing can shake me, all these things. You see? At some point of time in his life, he had this glimpse. He had this experience. It is not mere idea, mere thinking, an experience that I am not this body and mind. Even after angiogram, or during angiogram, or after angiogram, at any part of his life, he was never perturbed. He was never shaken. This is the strength of knowledge. This is the strength of spiritual experience, my dear devotees. So when we have this experience, spiritual experience, do we have got two horns? Two horns, does it grow? No. Again, as I said, that my material comforts will not be better, or I will not have bank balance more, but I will be happy. The best example is Swami Kamalanji Maharaj's life. Because he had that experience that I am not the body and mind, I am separate from the body and mind, that's the reason he was able to handle his whole of his life in spite of the health problems and so on and so forth. And also he had to face so many administrational problems during his tenure when he was the president of the particular center and all. He had to face a lot of struggles. He faced it. He said, yes, all I could face without any murmuring, without any complaints. Why? Because the experience that I am not the body and mind. And Guru's grace and Sri Ramakrishna's, the Master's grace, all these things were made me to take care of these things. So just an experience of the reality, how it can shape the personality, and how it can change the thinking, how it can make us to face even the death. According to the scriptures, the greatest fear for human being, for any being and especially for human being, is abhinivesha, the fear of death. And he didn't have that. Why? Because I had an experience that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the senses, I am not the emotions, I am not the feelings. This is the strength of the spiritual experience. This is the strength of the spiritual knowledge or self-knowledge. So we have to have an experience that I am not this body, I am not this mind. Now, coming to our subject, the seer and the seen. So who is seer and who is seen? The seer is experiencer. The synonyms. The seer is knower. The seer is conscious. The seer is awareness. And the seer is illuminator. And the seer is subject. Who is that? I am that. Atman or Brahman, Satchidananda, consciousness, self, soul, spirit, not the soul spirit which they speak of Western point of view, Western philosophy. Why? Because they confuse with the mind. So here it is not mind, it is Atman, the soul. That is what the seer. And what is the seen? The seen is experienced, known, the world, the object, the illumined. These are the seen. And all over three types of body. If you remember my Tattva Bodha classes, and if you have attended Tattva Bodha classes, then you can understand this very clearly. Three types of bodies. Physical body, gross body, subtle body, and also causal body. And 5 sheaths. Foot sheath, vital sheath, then mind sheath, intellect sheath, then bliss sheath. The 5 sheaths. These are all those seen. And 3 states of experience or 3 states of existence. Avasthatraya. Jagrat, awakening state. Swapna, dream state, and sushupti, deep sleep state. All these are seen, experienced, are the world and its objects. All are the seen, it considers seen. Now, to do this discrimination, I have to train the mind. I have to understand that I am the seer and I am not the seen. I am the seer and I am not the seen. I am the seer and I am not the seen. It is very interesting to listen to this. Fine. How to understand this? Probably by this time, whoever listening to the Vedanta classes and the Tattvabodha class and till now my description about the seer and sin, probably you will get an idea. To make it much more clear, I will give one more example. That I'm seeing the iPad and I'm talking. My eyes are seeing the iPad. With this reference, the iPad is the seen and my eyes are the seer. The iPad is the seen and the eyes are the seer. If someone of you are listening to my lecture through phone, if you, for an example, the mobile phone is the seen and your eyes you are seeing through phone. So the eyes are seer. Or if you are hearing my talk, then your ears are seer. Fine. Now the mind is aware of the forms which this eye is catching through this iPad. You will be seeing, if you put on the video of my talk, you are seeing me as well as from the different part of the world. The form, the eyes are catching that form and it is sending as a waves, as a thought currents, waves to the mind, and mind is receiving it. Then with that reference, if you say, the eyes are the seer and the mind is the seen. Why? Because the eyes are being experienced by the mind. And I am aware that I am getting the knowledge on Swami Shantivratananda's class on the discrimination between the seer and the seen. There, I'm getting the knowledge of it. I'm aware of it. How? Through the mind. That means the mind is the seer and I am the seen. First, iPad was the seer, or your mobile phone is the seer, or your computer is the seer, and your eyes were the seen, or your ears were the seen, sense objects. Then, when it comes to the mind, in processing the knowledge, your sense objects like either eyes or ears are the seer, and the seen is mind. Perceiver and perceived. And when you are aware of the knowledge you are getting about it through the mind is the seer, perceived. The mind is the seen or the perceived, and you are the perceiver and you are the seer, or you are the seer. And you are the seer, fine. Then anyone else is there behind so that you will be the seen? No. That's very end. And you have gone to the movie and you are watching the movie. The movie is the seen and your eyes are ears, all the seers. And you are experiencing it through your mind. Your mind is the seer and your sense organs are seen. And you are having the knowledge of the movie, then your mind is the seen and you are the seer. And similarly, when you are sitting in the theater and you are having the popcorn is the seen and your taste buds, tongue or the taste buds are the seer. And you are having the knowledge and you are enjoying the taste of the popcorn through your mind because of the knowledge of it, aware of it, then the mind is the seer and your taste buds are the tongue, sense organ is the seen. And through your mind, you are getting that knowledge, you are the seer and the mind is the seen. I hope now you are understanding that who is the seer and you are the seen. So this is who is seer and the seen. Now the scriptures give some narration about biodata of ourselves and the biodata of the world. Oh, what is the need of scriptures to give the biodata? I know about myself biodata, how the scriptures can know. And that means there are so many crores of people, then crores of biodatas are there available in the world? No, it has been generalized on any human being especially. Or about who am I? Who am I? Okay, if you ask you, Swamiji, you say that you are a Swami Shantivratananda, I'm a Swami Shantivratananda, I'm staying in Seer Vedanta Society in the Dublin, Ireland, I'm a monk, etc., etc. Someone said that okay, I'm a doctor, I'm a John Henry, and I live in Dublin too. Someone say, oh, I am a Mary and I live in Dublin 13 and I'm a teacher and I'm a professor of Technology University Dublin, that is TUD. And my professional skills I can give and what are the things, academic qualification, all these things I can give. So is that biodata I'm speaking of? No. I'm speaking of the biodata, the real biodata. So what is the real biodata of me then other than these things? So there are external accomplishments. The real biodata, I'm saying that who am I when I say that I am that existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. Satchitananda. And Aham Chaitanya Swarupa. I am the consciousness itself. I am the consciousness itself. Aham Swatantra. I am the independent. I am not Paratantra. I am not dependent in reality. But you say, oh no, Swami, we are dependent. We are depending on so many things for our existence. How can you say that I am independent? You, okay, maybe. You are a monk since you are independent, but we are family people. We are dependent. No, yeah, either it is not a question of either family person or the monastic person, a lay person or a monk. No, you may come from any different walk of your life, any different walk of the life, but every one of us, we are independent. That is our real biodata. I am Nirguna. I am devoid of qualities actually. And I am Nitya. I am eternal. Swami, come on. I have got a date of manufacture, means date of birth. And I've got date of expiry also, which I don't know. Maybe you may be knowing. That is date of death. How can you say that I am eternal? Yes, in reality, I and you, every one of us, we are eternal. I am Sarvagata. I am all pervasive. Oh no. How is it that? I am limited. When you are say you are in Ayurveda Society, Swami, you cannot be in the city center, isn't it? If I am in city center, I cannot say that I can be also there, just like any God or Lord, that I can be in Ayurveda Society. I am one. Oh. And I am indestructible, Avinashi. Aham Kutastha. I am unchangeable. And Aham Sanatana. I am ancient and eternal. This is the biodata given by the scriptures on all of us. Fine. How to understand this? Of course, I am Sachidananda Swarupaha. I am existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. Probably again, referring back to my Tattvabodha class. If you have heard all this Tattvabodha class, definitely you'll be knowing. I am consciousness. I am not the body. I am not the mind. I am not the sense organs. I am not thoughts. I am not feelings. I am not happiness, which I experience. I am not unhappiness, which I experience. Rather, I am the experiencer. That's what consciousness itself. For an example, oh, the bulb is so nice. Why? Because it's giving good light. The bulb can give a light by itself? No. It needs an electricity, which we say energy. Isn't it? So like that, so everything, it needs some consciousness. And I am that consciousness. I am that energy. And why I am independent? Because when I say that I am consciousness, for my existence, there is no dependency, there is no required, anything else required. Now, for an example, I am sitting on the chair and I am talking. To sit, I need a chair for an existence. So I depending on the chair. And the chair is depending on this earth. And the earth is depending on the solar system or in the universe galaxy. But whereas as I am the consciousness, I don't depend on anything of my existence because I am independent. And I am Nirguna. Nirguna is devoid of qualities and I am not made up of any material, any matter. That's pure consciousness, pure awareness I'm speaking. So we have to understand. And I am Nitya, I am eternal. Why eternal? Because neither I have date of birth and neither I have got a date of death. Swami, how can you say that you don't have a date of birth? Maybe after some 30, 40, 50 years before you took birth and after 30, 40, 50 years you will die. How can you say that you don't have date of birth and date of death? Yes, my dear, you are right. Whatever you were speaking of date of birth and death, that is the date of birth and death is to my body, not for me. That's where we are wrong. And I am Sarvagata, I am all pervasive. Again, as a spirit, as a consciousness, as an awareness. How to understand? You show me where there is no awareness. There is nowhere. There is nowhere the place where there is no conscious and awareness. And I make according to the non-dualistic philosophy, the Advaita Vedanta, the Atman or Brahman is only one. Then there are so many beings. Then there are so many Atmas, it should be, isn't it? No, they're all reflecting mediums. How to understand? Again, Pratibimbavada, Atmai Tattvabodha class, if you remember, that the sun is only one. If you keep 100 buckets of water, 100 mirrors, there will be 100 reflections. If you keep thousands, it will be 1,000. If you keep hundreds of thousands, then it will be so many reflections. But the sun is only one, or the moon is only one. So similarly, the Brahman is only one. There are so many reflected mediums called subtle body and causal body. Every animal, every human being, every bird, beast, any being, it has got this reflecting medium, subtle body and causal body. That's why we feel that there are so many beings, but so many atmas, so many beings, so many embodied souls. But the soul is only one. There are only reflected mediums. And Avinashi. I'm indestructible. I am not destroyed. How come, Swami? Because any weapon can destroy you. Yes, any weapon can destroy me means what? This body, not me. Oh, there is enough cold. Yes, there was enough cold in Dublin now. God is gracious and sun is gracious. Now we are in the spring season, our temperature has been increased. Cold has reduced. After some time, again, we feel that, oh, it's too much hot, isn't it? So you're getting dried, sometimes you are feeling cold and all. Yes, again, it's all for my body, not for me, because I'm the spirit. So the water can never wet me, or because of cold, I don't feel cold. Body feels cold. Because of scorching sun, I don't feel hot. The body feels hot, but I don't feel hot. The fire, if there's a fire accident, I may burn into ashes. Who? The body will burn into ashes. I will not burn into ashes because I am not an object. See, this is what we have got confused ourselves with our body and mind complex. So much so that how much ever we say, we are not able to separate ourselves. So we have to do constant thinking that I am the subject, not the object. I am the consciousness, I am an awareness, I am the self, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, so on and so forth we have to do. Aham Kutastha. So these are my biodata, what I will say, these are the few points at which we can dwell upon and which we can think again and again. And I am Kutastha, I am unchangeable. From our birth to death, there are so many changes we come across, physically and mentally, isn't it? All these things happens to our body, physical body, and to our mind, our perceptions, but not for me. Thoughts, feelings, perceptions, the knowledge, everything you can say, everything is related with your body-mind complex, not with yourself. And I'm Sanatana, I'm ancient. Means again, there was no time that I was not there, and there will be no time that I will not be there, because I am eternal, because I am the subject, I am the consciousness, I am the awareness, I am the consciousness itself. And whereas this world for its existence, it needs something as an adhisthana, substratum. The substratum itself is consciousness. The substratum itself is the awareness. That's why it is achaitanya. It is inert. It is jada. It is unconscious. Oh world, how are you? If you ask, the world will say, no, it is unconscious. Whereas human beings, we can say, beings will say, how are you if you ask? But the world cannot say, because it is inert. It is paratantra. It needs something to exist. It is dependent on something, but whereas I am not dependent. The body is dependent on many things. My mind is dependent on many things, but I am not dependent on anything. And it has got qualities. That's why it is good. Saguna, tat sagunaha. It has got a lot of qualities, and it is made up of material, matter, either this body, mind, or this whole world. And how this world is made up of the 5 elements, and this body is made up of the 5 gross elements, everything we have discussed. And anitya, after some time there will be a constant change, like Heraclitus says, everything is in flux. Afterwards, it goes again from the manifested state to the unmanifested state. Continuously, there's a change. Water, due to the temperature fall, it becomes ice, and then the temperature increases, again it will be converted into water. And if it still the temperature is increased, then if someone is heated, the water will be formed in the form of water vapor. Again it gets condensed. Again in the form of rain, it comes back to the earth. So there is a constant change, isn't it? So anitya and aneka. There are so many products. There are so many things in this. And nashamasti, tat nashamasti. It has got a destruction. It has got an end. After 10,000 years, we cannot say that the Dublin city will be same similar way like this, isn't it? So it has got a destruction. It can go to its unmanifested state. So this is what the biodata of me and the world and the worldly object are body and mind complex. So I am the seer. I am the world is seen, the body mind is seen, the thoughts are seen, the feelings are seen, the body is seen, the mind is seen, the world, the entire world and its objects are seen. I am the illuminator, and the whole world and its objects, the body and world is illuminated. I am the experiencer. I'm experiencing of all this, including my body and mind, the world, and the body, world, mind, everything has been experienced. And I am the subject, and other than me, everything else is an object. Everything else is the object. So this is what we have to understand. Once we understand that, we can be happy at all times. We can be blissful at all times, irrespective of our positions, irrespective of our bank balance, irrespective of our mental state, irrespective of our emotional state, irrespective of physical state, whether I'm healthy or unhealthy, whether I've got a COVID or not, because now everyone is worried from this COVID. Irrespective of that, I can be happy and blissful. That's why we have to study Vedanta. That's why we have to listen to Vedanta. It is not only listening, studying, we have to put into practice. And we can see very clearly, even in the life of Swami Vivekananda, who is our master. Swami Vivekananda, as an itinerant monk, he was traveling in Himalayas, in India. And from 3 days, he didn't have any food. And imagine, from 3 days, he didn't have any food, and he was a young monk, young chap, and he was fully hungry. And he was traveling in the Himalayas, in the dense forest, in the mountain range, but he had taken a resolve, the oath that I will not beg for food. Even in the forest, he is thinking that there will be a few villages, isn't it, or some few houses. But he had made a resolve that I will not ask, I will not beg for food. If God wills, let the food comes by itself. If God wills, otherwise no. So 3 days is over, God has not willed, so he has not got food. And he was very hungry, he was tired, and in that condition, he was just traveling, or he was moving, or he was walking in the Himalayas. Suddenly, maybe 100 or 200 meters a distance, he sees a tiger. Imagine, if I or you sees tiger in any forest, in the open area, immediately what we do? We shout, we scream, we may cry, we may run. We doing all this, immediately we run, isn't it? But whereas Swami Vivekananda never did of anything. He was not morose, he was not tensed, he didn't have any sweat on his body as a reaction, he was not fearful, and he didn't think of what will happen to him, whether the death has come, death is approaching faster, nothing. He said simply, "Oh tiger or lion, you are also hungry, I am also hungry. I don't know, God has not willed, so from 3 days I didn't get anything food. Fine. Any of this body is going to punish one or another day. Come, oh tiger, come and eat me. Why? So that at least by eating, by giving this, offering this body to you, so one being's hunger will be quenched at least for a day or two. If I am able to serve one being, if I am able to serve one jiva, then probably I feel blessed. Come on, my dear tiger, please come and eat me." He said that, and he sat in meditation. Imagine. It is not an imagination, or it is not a mere speculation. This really happened, this story. And he sat in meditation, and for God's sake, and on God's grace, after 5 minutes he opens his eyes, and the lion or tiger, just it had walked away. And he got up and he continued his journey. He resumed his journey. Where this tremendous strength, tremendous conviction. Where did he get? He got because he was very clear that is Atman, is the soul, is the self, is the spirit, is the consciousness, is the awareness, is the seer, is the subject. And he was very clear that he never had any misconception that is the seen, is this world and worldly objects, is the body, is the mind, is the emotions, feelings. That's why even at that juncture, he had a tremendous strength where even the tiger and lion came, he didn't had any reaction and he said, please come on, you can eat me. I feel blessed. Such a magnanimous heart, such a strength, such a fearlessness. How? Because of experience. He had a Nirvikalpa Samadhi in the Kashipur days. We can remember, whoever studied his life, Swami Vivekananda's life. So all the spiritual aspirants, spiritual people, spiritual giants, they have expressed this type of strength, spiritual strength, tremendous strength. How? Because of understanding who they are in reality. So when I say that I'm happy or I'm unhappy, that's all related with my body and mind. That's all with my feelings. It is cold or hot. Again, it is with the external environment and it is with my physical body. Someone scolded me, fine. The words came and it tormented my mind, fine. But again, it is with my mind. I am not the mind. When I am not the mind, why should I feel bad about it? It is with this body-mind transactions. When neither I am the body nor the mind, then why should I get boggled? Why should I get moved? Why should I feel morose? Why should I feel stress? All are belong to the body and mind. This is what, when you have got firm experience, convictions, then nothing can shake in this world. That's what we can see in the life of Sri Ramakrishna, life of Swami Vivekananda. All the great saints, maybe in the case of Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ, and all these people, great people, we can see that they had firm convictions that who they are in reality. So when we say that, when we have an experience that I am the experiencer, not the experienced, I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the senses, I am not the emotions, I am not the feelings. Rather, they all belong to mind and body and mind complex. They are an object. I am the subject. When I experience, when I've got a firm resolve, when I've got a firm conviction, then I can be happy at all times. That is what we say moksha. And that knowledge is moksha or mukti. And we need not to attain anywhere. It is already in us. It is just then ignorance has covered. A thick veil of ignorance has to be removed. Just like there is a beautiful sunlight outside. A thick cloud comes and covers the sun. Then what we say immediately? Oh, sun is disappeared? No, only clouds have covered. The moment the clouds go, then again we get a sunlight. So similarly, already that knowledge is there in us. We need not to get it freshly. We need not to attain freshly. Probably if you are hearing my Karma Yoga lectures, you'll be knowing that, because Swami tells beautifully, clearly that knowledge is internal in nature. It is there already in hidden, only it has been covered by thick veil of ignorance. So that ignorance has to be removed. To remove that ignorance, to remove the misconception, to remove the illusion, to remove the delusion, we have to do the discrimination cycle or discrimination exercise. Why we have to attend classes? Why we have to attend satsangs? Why we have to hear these lectures? Why we have to study scriptures? To remove the wrong notion, to remove the misconception, to remove the hypnotization. I've been hypnotized that I am body, I am mind, I am body, and I am mind, so on and so forth. So to remove the hypnotization, I have to think again and again. I am the Atman, I am not the body. I am the Atman, I am not the mind. I am the Atman, I am not the emotions. I am the Atman, I am not this body-mind complex. I am the Atman, self. I am not this, world or worldly objects. When to remove that misconception only, we have to think again and again, we have to listen, and that is what Shravana Manidhyasana, we have to cogitate, contemplate. Till then, to understand. Till when? Till understanding. Till experiencing that, who am I? We have to keep on doing it. So may the Lord bless all of us to have that clear conviction, clear resolve, and clear understanding, clear realization of who am I, so that let us attain that salvation. Let us all attain that emancipation, so that we can be blissful and happy, because that is our real nature. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.